Hello students. Today's video is titled One-Step Equations, and we're getting into some algebra here that I really love, so I hope you like it too. We're going to do 4 examples. Let's get right into it. Here's our first example. X plus 2 equals 8. Now, this is an equation, and the reason it's an equation is because we have an equal sign. On the left side, we have x plus 2, which is an algebraic expression. On the right side, we have 8. And because of the equal sign, we're trying to find what value of x, what number, right, would be plugged in there or substituted to make these two sides equivalent. Like if I drew a little line here down the equal sign, we know this side is 8. How do we make this side 8? How do we make it balanced? Can you think of a number that we can put right here that would make the two sides equal? You can pause the video to think about it if you need to. And I hope when you restart, you're thinking 6. If we put a 6 where that x is, 6 plus 2 equals 8. 6 plus 2 is 8, and 8 equals 8. Ta-da! You did it. That means the x is 6. Here's the thing though, in algebra, we have a process to solve this. The way I just did it, or the way we just did it, is more of like a guess and check. You guess a number for x, and you check to see if it works. Like what's 1 plus 2? Well, that's 3. No, that's not it. 2 plus 2. You know, oh, it's 6 plus 2. Okay, so that's like guessing and checking. The process, let me rewrite this problem. Let me rewrite x plus 2 equals 8. The algebraic process that we follow, let me draw that bar here again, through the equal sign, is whatever side the x is on, or whatever side the letter is on, whatever is happening to the x, in this case, x is being added to 2. If you just do the opposite operation to adding 2, what will happen is, well, let's see, what's the opposite operation to addition? Subtraction. So if you put a minus 2 here, watch what happens. Positive 2 is just like 2. What's 2 minus 2? Isn't that just 0? So if you want to figure out what x is, and you do the opposite operation of addition, the 2 minus 2 drops out to 0. The x floats down. The thing about algebra, though, is whatever you do to one side of this bar, you must balance on the other side. And what's 8 minus 2? 6. So that means your x is 6, which we already knew from guessing and checking. Isn't that cool? Let's try another one. X minus 5 equals 7. Okay, you could probably guess and check your way to the answer here. What number minus 5 makes 7? Pause it if you need to. I hope you're thinking 12. 12 minus 5 equals 7. That's kind of a guess and check situation. If we wanted to do the algebraic steps, we would take the equal sign, draw our bar here. We would find the x, there it is, and we would look at what was happening to the x. Right now, minus 5 sits behind the x. So if we just do the opposite operation, what's the opposite of subtracting? Well, hope you think it's adding. Okay, opposites, minus 5 plus 5, will always cancel to 0. If you're not sure about that, because you haven't worked a lot with negatives, one way to show that is if I draw a number line. So, right? So say this is 0 and this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, right? If you start at -5, so that would be right here, and you go +5, that would mean 5 spots to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you land at 0. So a negative and a positive of the same number will always cancel out to 0, which floats our x right on down. Now remember, whatever operation you do to the left side of the equal sign, you must balance on the right. 7 plus 5, 12, which is exactly what we guessed and checked it would be. Easy, right? 12 minus 5 equals 7, so x is 12. Let's try our third one. 2x equals 8. What's x? Remember, that means times. So we're really asking 2 times what number makes 8? Well, I hope you're thinking 4. That would be the way to guess and check your way to it. But if we do algebra, watch what happens. Draw your bar through the equal sign. Okay, what operation is being done to the x right now? Multiplication by 2. What operation undoes or is the opposite of multiplication? Division. So if you divide by 2, watch what happens. What's 2 divided by 2? 1. So this becomes 1 times x equals, and whatever you do to the left side, you must do to the right. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 1 times x is just x. So x is 4, which we already guessed and checked. If x is 4, 2 times 4 equals 8. Pretty simple. You're just always doing the opposite operation. And the last one, x divided by 8 equals 10. What number divided by 8 makes 10? Think about it. Thinking 80 maybe? 80 divided by 8 makes 10. But if you don't want to do it with guess and check, we can draw our bar here. Okay, what's happening with the x right now? Division. What's the opposite operation of division? Multiplication. So if you multiply by 8 on this side, watch what happens. You could kind of put this 8 over 1. And remember when we learned to multiply fractions, remember cross-canceling? These 8s will just cancel right on out, leaving us with x over 1. Well, x divided by 1 is just x. Now if we do the same operation on the right side, so we multiplied by 8, so we can multiply by 8 over here, and 10 times 8 is, ta-da, 80, which is what we thought it was. So we times by 8, which is the opposite of dividing. So to finish this video off, a couple things here to read. First here it says, an equation is a statement where two expressions are equal. When an equation has a variable, we call it an algebraic equation. To solve an algebraic equation, we do the opposite operation of whatever operation is being performed on the variable. This way we can get the variable by itself. Addition and subtraction are opposite operations. Multiplication and division are opposite operations. Whatever you do to the left side of the equation, you must also do to the right side of the equation. Okay? And I just thought of something. I should probably show you one other example that could happen. Let me grab a piece of paper here. I just thought of it. This might be worth looking at just in case it comes up. What would happen if you had something like this? 3/4 x equals, let's do 9, okay? That one might be a little bit harder to guess and check because you're thinking 3/4 times what makes 9? Makes it a little bit harder. So let's appeal to the algebra. Let's draw our line. Now, what's interesting here is back on this example, right? We just had the x divided by 8. There was clearly like division, so we undid it with multiplication, the opposite. What's confusing here is that we have a fraction, like we have division going on, right? But the division is 3/4. The division is not happening with the x. What's actually happening with the x is multiplication. So x is being multiplied by this. To undo or take the opposite of multiplication, we want to do division. And we're going to divide by this coefficient, 3/4, both sides. Now, 3/4 divided by 3/4 is just 1, and 1 times x is x. On the right side, we're going to have to do a little side work. 9 divided by 3/4. Boy, it's been a minute since we did this. If we think of that as 9 over 1, then we know that that is 9 over 1 times the reciprocal 4/3. And we can zip zap. 9 times 4 is 36. 1 times 3 is 3. And 36 divided by 3 is 12. So x will be 12. So you really have to look out for what's happening with the x. In this case, it was multiplication, so we got rid of it with division. And if you wanted to check it, if you put a 12 right there, 3 over 4 times 12. Well, let's see what that is. That's 3 over 4 times 12 over 1, which is 3 times 12. That's 36. 4 times 1 is 4. And 36 divided by 4 is 9, which is what that was over on that other side. So I figured that might be a good idea to show you that just in case that happens to you. Okay, thanks for watching One Step Equations. Good luck with your practice and happy trails to you.